Now you talk about Logic. I wrote that down.
Yep.
You went to a Logic show.
Yep.
Before he even blew up, right? It's like, how did you?
Okay, so yeah, it wasn't like before he blew up. It was actually just like a fluke of a show, I think.
Okay.
So before I don't know if it was before he signed or before he announced that he signed.
Yeah.
He did a tour called Welcome to Forever.
Okay.
And it was for his Welcome to Forever mixtape, which was the mixtape before he dropped Under Pressure, which was his first album.
Yeah.
So since Under Pressure wasn't out, he wasn't like mainstream yet. Like people didn't really know about him, but he was big enough to be signed to Def. Like he just got signed to Def Jam, I think.
Okay.
So I know like the night before he was in Toronto, and he did about 1,200.
Okay.
So not like nobody, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes to Montreal, and like I saw the video of Toronto, so I was like, okay, I was expecting about 1,200 people.
Yeah.
I bought like meet and greet passes and stuff.
Really?
So I show up to the meet and greet. I'm like, I hope like we're there in time, whatever. I show up. There's probably like 10 people in line for this meet and greet. I was like, oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So we meet and greet him, and then we're like, oh, okay, there's gonna be tons of people for the show. The show comes around. There wasn't more than 100 people in like a bar type of club. You know what I mean? Like it was small, man. The place could only fit like 250 probably. There's no seats or anything. It was like a club type of place.
Yeah.
This stage was this high off the ground. Like it was like he was standing on a sidewalk type of height. And so I literally just walked right into the front row.
Yeah.
And he was like rapping like right in front of me for like an hour.
That's crazy.
It was hilarious, right? And he goes, so you know what? He had signed to Def Jam, but he had announced it, I think. But anyway, he had signed to Def Jam because he goes, wow, like I'm signed to Def Jam. My album's coming out, like my official album. They're gonna pump it out. He's like, I'll probably never be able to do a show like this, like 50 people in a bar.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm never gonna forget this. Like this is kind of epic. And then he's like, who's hungry? And we were like, we're hungry. And he's like, that's awesome. I bought pizza for everyone. And his boy comes out with like 10 things of pizza. Logic like comes off the stage and like stands in the crowd with everyone. And we're all just like eating pizza with Logic and his DJ and like his openers and like just talking and stuff casually. And then he gets back on stage and he's like, I'll do like a Q&A for 40 minutes if you want. And he's just like on the mic and people are putting their hand up and asking questions. Like that's how small this crowd was. Yeah, so we had a pizza party with Logic and asked some questions.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like, to be able to say that you like kind of, that's just, I don't even know.
Hilarious, man. Hilarious.
So did you ask many questions when you were there? Like, did you like take anything away?
I didn't ask any questions, but
I did, yeah. I saw you rap for him.
Yeah, that was the meet and greet.
Yeah.
But the best question was a guy goes, so he had released the track list for Under Pressure.
Yeah.
Because some guy put his hand up and goes, who's Nikki?
Okay.
Because there's a song on it called Nikki. And he goes, I'll literally answer any question except for that question. Because he's like, it's not what you think it is. It's going to be like, it's going to blow your mind. I don't want to ruin it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do you know the song, Nikki?
No, I don't.
So it's the way he raps it is like he's rapping about a girl named Nikki that he's addicted to.
Yeah.
But really it's about nicotine. But he frames it as like nicotine's a girl that he's addicted to, right?
Yeah.
And then he says something like, I used to know this girl go by the name of Mary, like Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a really cool song. And now I get why he didn't want to like spoil it and have people like know beforehand. But yeah.
That's awesome. And so you rapped him before the show then?
Yeah. So it was funny. I was really sick that day too.
Yeah.
And I was in the hotel room and I was like, man, I'm meeting him. I have to rap for him.
Yeah.
So I just like wrote some bars on my phone, but I was like feeling so sick that I was like, oh, like I don't even want to do it. And that's why like I'm on my phone because like I literally just wrote it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I rapped for him, and that whatever I said at the end was like really, it was like a really good play on words. And if you look at the video, his reaction, he like looks at the camera, he's like, okay.
Yeah, he like stops what he's doing.
I did a play on words with like his real name Bobby and Logic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I said I'm like Bobby just trying to make it, waiting one day for that logical explanation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's just like, but now you look at how big Logic is now, right?
Yeah.
Like now looking back at that just makes it that much cooler.
Epic, man.
And he said his opener was pretty sick too that day, right?
I loved his opener.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'm a Logic fan, but his opener probably outdid him from like a stage presence.
Really?
Standpoint, his opener, man, was just like so real with the crowd. Did this whole like 10-minute spiel about like how we're all like just humans, we're all we're all like the same people. He like took his chain off. He's like, look, like now I'm not wearing a chain and I look just like you guys. You know what I mean? Like you can do whatever you want. He told this story about how he had actually given up on rap.
Okay.
And it was because he had like a kid or something, and he needed to go work and like make money to support his kid. And like he had known Logic from back in the day.
Okay.
And he was like I think he was like a week into his like full-time job, and Logic had called him. And Logic was like, hey, I'm going on tour. I want you to open for me. And he was like, oh yeah, forget this job, and then went on tour and like yeah. So epic story. Yeah.
Remember his name? Like
Quest.
Is he still rap? You know, or was that like he did the tour?
He dropped an album right after, and it was fire, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's a like I'll tell you if it sucks. Like it was fire. It reminded me so much of Kendrick.
Okay.
And like he is so talented, but for whatever reason, like people just don't know about this guy.
Yeah.
Like he's on tour with Logic. Like I don't know if it's just like his marketing game's not there, but people just don't know about him. But he's so talented. I don't even think he makes music anymore.
That's crazy.
I haven't heard anything. Yeah.